The Highway of Tears. Background and introduction. Geographical context. The Highway of Tears refers to a 725-kilometer stretch of Highway 16 between Prince George and Prince Rupert in northern British Columbia, Canada. The region is remote, with long distances between towns, limited public transportation, and poor cellular coverage, making it a dangerous area for hitchhikers, especially women. Social context. The highway runs through many indigenous communities, which often face significant challenges, including high rates of poverty, unemployment, addiction, and a lack of resources. Many residents rely on hitchhiking due to the absence of affordable transportation options, increasing their vulnerability. Initial awareness. The term Highway of Tears was coined in 1998 during a vigil for 4 murdered women. The area has been associated with disappearances and murders dating back to the 1970s, though the exact number of victims is disputed. Officially, 18 cases are recognized, but advocacy groups believe the number could be as high as 40 or more. Victims. Most of the victims were young Indigenous women, but others included non-Indigenous women and girls. The cases range from confirmed murders to unexplained disappearances, with some bodies never recovered, leaving families without closure. Underscore 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 on. The victims and patterns. Known victims. Notable cases include O. Gloria Moody, 1969, a 26-year-old Indigenous woman, last seen leaving a bar in Williams Lake. Her body was found in a field. She had been sexually assaulted and murdered. O. Monica Jack, 1978, a 12-year-old girl abducted while riding her bike. Her remains were found 17 years later. O. Ramona Wilson, 1994, a 16-year-old Indigenous girl last seen hitchhiking to a friend's house. Her body was discovered in 1995 near Smithers. O. Nicole Ford, 2002, a 25-year-old tree planter and the only non-Indigenous victim officially linked to the Highway of Tears. She disappeared while hitchhiking near Prince George. Patterns and commonalities. The majority of victims were Indigenous, reflecting the broader issue of violence against Indigenous women in Canada. Many victims were last seen hitchhiking, often alone, and in vulnerable situations due to a lack of safe transportation options. The cases often involved sexual assault, and many of the bodies were found in remote, wooded areas, complicating investigations. Challenges in patterns recognition. Early on, there was little effort to link the cases or recognize a pattern due to the geographic spread and the transient nature of the victims' lives. Miscommunication between law enforcement agencies and a lack of resources dedicated to these cases hindered initial investigations. Underscore 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 on. Investigations and challenges. Initial police response. Early investigations into individual disappearances were often slow and underfunded, reflecting a broader systemic neglect of cases involving Indigenous women. Many families reported feeling dismissed by authorities, who sometimes categorized the missing women as runaways or individuals involved in high-risk lifestyles, thereby deprioritizing their cases. Project EPANA. In 2005, the RCMP launched Project EPANA to investigate a series of unsolved murders and disappearances along Highways 16, 97, and 5. EPANA focused on 18 cases of female victims from 1969 to 2006, based on specific criteria, including the victims being female, having gone missing near a highway, and being either murdered or still missing. The task force employed advanced forensic techniques, including DNA analysis, geographic profiling, and public appeals for information. Challenges faced by EPANA. Despite increased attention and resources, The investigation faced significant obstacles, including the deterioration of evidence over time and the vast, rugged terrain. Budget cuts in recent years severely impacted the progress of IPANA, leading to reduced staff and the shelving of active investigations. Community and family involvement. Families of the victims, along with indigenous advocacy groups, have been instrumental in keeping the cases in the public eye, organizing vigils, marches, and campaigns for justice. There has been a significant push for public awareness, including billboards along the highway warning women against hitchhiking. Underscore 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 on. Media coverage and public awareness. Initial lack of media attention. For years, the disappearances received minimal media coverage, partly due to the marginalized status of the victims. The media's portrayal of the cases often lacked sensitivity, with a focus on the victims' involvement in high-risk behaviors rather than highlighting the systemic issues at play. Increased awareness. Over time, persistent efforts by families and advocates led to increased media attention. Documentaries, such as Highway of Tears, 2015, by filmmaker Matthew Smiley, and news specials have brought the cases into the national conversation. The Royal Canadian Mounted Police, RCMP, held public forums and media briefings to update on investigations, partly as a response to criticisms of their handling of the cases. Impact of media and publicity. The heightened awareness has spurred calls for action at both provincial and federal levels, including the implementation of better safety measures along the highway, such as shuttle services and emergency phones. Publicity has also highlighted the broader issue of missing and murdered Indigenous women and girls, MIG, across Canada, drawing international attention to the crisis. Community-led initiatives. Various grassroots initiatives have been established, including support groups for families of victims and programs aimed at educating youth about the dangers of hitchhiking. Indigenous communities have also called for cultural sensitivity training for law enforcement and more Indigenous representation within the police force. Underscore 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 on. Aftermath and reforms. National inquiry into missing and murdered Indigenous women and girls, MIG. The Highway of Tears cases were a catalyst for the broader MIG inquiry launched by the Canadian government in 2016. The inquiry sought to address the systemic causes of violence against Indigenous women and girls, including historical and ongoing discrimination. Key findings and recommendations. The final report, released in 2019, identified the root causes of the violence as colonialism, systemic racism, and social and economic marginalization. Recommendations included calls for improved police practices, better support for families of missing and murdered women, and significant changes in how cases involving Indigenous women are handled. Transportation and safety improvements. In response to the crisis, the British Columbia government and Indigenous communities collaborated to improve safety along the highway, including the introduction of a shuttle service to reduce reliance on hitchhiking. Other safety measures included increased lighting, emergency call boxes, and expanded public transportation options. Ongoing efforts and unresolved cases. Despite the progress made, many cases remain unsolved, and the families of the victims continue to seek answers and justice. Advocacy continues for more comprehensive reforms, including better data collection on missing persons, increased funding for investigations, and a national action plan to address violence against Indigenous women. Legacy. The Highway of Tears serves as a stark reminder of the vulnerability of marginalized communities and the need for systemic change in addressing violence against women. It has become a symbol of the broader issue of MIG in Canada, inspiring ongoing advocacy and reforms aimed at preventing further tragedies and ensuring justice for the victims and their families.